mouse is broken. Oh my goodness. Holy crap, my mouse is broken. I couldn't get it to work. Oh. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to BMX News Live, where normally I'm live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but today I'm late. My own fault, but we're here, and now my mouse isn't working. So, either way, I'm going to struggle through this. We're going to power on through. So, first things first, this is a BMX news show that happens every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week in the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. And with that being said, we have a bunch of people in the chat right now. Sean Chambers has reclaimed his first in the chat crown. We also have Rocket Manual King Pavel in the chat. Stony Old Fat Guy BMX, Kevin Morehouse, as well as Jason Jameson, Justin Lee, Ingeminator, and several different members in the chat. If you don't know what the membership thing is, basically it's a way to support the channel directly where you get access to videos before everybody else. So they go live for members only before they go live publicly. There's actually 2 videos right now that only members can watch that are going to be going live tomorrow and Sunday, and there's actually a few more uploaded already that will be switched to members only as the days go on. With that, we have Geoff Meade as a member in the chat, Presley Worley and fam hanging out in the warmth in Florida. I'm so jealous right now. Who else is here? Keggy making another awesome thumbnail, riding a Bronco, doing a nose pick on a Bronco. Kyle McDonald, Josh Shipman, Steve Novak is here. I appreciate all you guys for supporting the channel. With that being said, we have someone else in BMX who needs support right now. Matt Cordova took a gnarly slam. Mike Murfitt, the guy behind Traction Coffee, has put together a GoFundMe for him. And as of right now, it has reached $25,000, almost $500, not even 24 hours. If that says anything about Matt Cordova, it's that he is a real dude who seems, I don't know, like he deserves the support, I suppose, because everybody is helping out with this one. And even though he does have insurance, he had some gnarly stuff going on in terms of having to be flown and surgeries. Came a few inches shy, going from a 6-foot into a 12-foot quarter pipe, going over the handlebars directly to flat. And while it really, really sucks to see these types of things happen and to see people in situations where they need help, I'm so excited to say that the BMX world has this guy's back. And it's really awesome that Mike made this GoFundMe format. And it's even more awesome that so many people have contributed in such a huge way that hopefully he won't have to worry about anything at all by the time this is all done. And that would be incredible. So the BMX community is amazing yet again. I will have this linked. It will be the first link in the description down below after the news is over. So you can go and help out if you want to. Another highlight from this week is the Bloom BMX photo contest. I don't remember if we talked about this previously, but there had been a pretty awesome update to this. So it's pretty simple. This is a women's BMX photo contest. So it's meant for women photographers and it's focused on women's BMX. So you can submit to this by using the tag Bloom BMX photo in the caption. One clear submission, not a carousel. Also email them with full resolution for them to repost because Instagram sucks. And when we go to the more BMX part of the news, you'll see that hashtags don't always work the best and that you have to go and find things for yourself. So if you submit to this, make sure that you email it to this email address right here. What's awesome with the updates to this contest is that the winner of this is winning a camera with a kit lens. How sick is that? A Canon R50 with kit lens. That's pretty awesome to see. A feature in the 2026 Bloom BMX calendar, accessories from Peak Design, apparel from Vans, and the Bloom will be the sole distributor of prizes. Winners will be contacted by them. So there's some frequently asked questions, a flyer with the Instagram post on it. So if this is interesting to you and you're a lady shredder photographer, get out there and shoot some photos. You could win a camera. Moving on from there, we start to get into the videos from this week. I'm going to refresh my YouTube feed. I feel like the chat is broken. I'm back. Coworker brought his puppy into the office, so had to pet the pup. Hey, can't blame you, man. When there's a dog present, you gotta go pet the dog. That's just the way it works. So with that, let's get into the videos from this week. We have first one from Work BMX and Alex Capolongo is his 2025 edit. Alex is such a shredder. I recorded a BMX React video for this one because after riding with him and seeing him ride at my jam a few weeks ago, he's one of the most underrated dudes. Just so well-rounded and so effortlessly talented on his bike. It seems effortless, I should say. He's worked really, really hard, I'm sure, but he's so good that it looks like he doesn't have to try at all to do some of the craziest stuff ever. Justin Lee, my dog is watching BMX News. What's up, dog? I just saw Mike, the hawk, out there on the telephone pole. Good morning, Anthony. Thank you for being a member. So go watch this video. I've already talked about it for longer than the video actually is. Then we have Our House. Not even going to try it. Just not even going to try that name. But this video features Bruno Hoffman, Paul Tholen, Killian Roth, and Felix Prangenberg. So you know that with some of the best riders in all of BMX, it's going to be a really good video. It's well filmed. So check it out if you're fans of any of those riders. Shot and edited by Marcus Wilkie. Gotta be hands-free, but hyped to be listening. What up, Geoff Meade? I know I already shouted you out, but shout out to Geoff Meade. He kills it. Better on 2. Live with Brant Moore. What up? Thunder Midget is also here. So moving on from here, we're going from the shortest video of the week to the longest video of the week. And with that, we have Satoshi and 47 to 50, primarily a trails focused video, but there is a street curve wall ride clip in here. So if trails are your thing and you love to see shredders 50 years old still killing it, this is definitely one you want to check out. This dude rips. And I love seeing riders up in this age bracket killing it because it gives hope to all of the younger people out there, and hope to older guys and inspiration to them as well to get back out there and keep doing it. Moving on, we've got Pat Falico's Colony Still Having Fun section. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch this yet because I want to do a react video to it. I cannot wait to watch it. I'm also not going to lie, I have not had a chance to sit down and watch the entire Colony Still Having Fun video. It is an hour-long full length that is live on Colony's YouTube channel right now. You can go watch it with sections from all kinds of different shredders on the Colony team. And I'm excited I didn't watch it yet because I want to react to seeing what madness Pat got up to when I see it for the first time ever. I know it's insane. We saw the one clip that they did the video for with his 540 over the spine to fakie front flip, but that's all I've seen so far other than what might have been on Instagram. Go watch it. You know it's insane, and you know it's got lip trick riding in it if you're a fan of that. So then we have Profile's launch box fall 2025 with the Profile crew. These always have a ton of riders in them. Look at all these. Billy Woodfin, Drew Jackson, Kent Pearson, Carl Immers, Alex Tate. Any more Flatland stuff in here? George Manos and TJ Henderson. Terry Adams. Dave Zofko does a curve wall ride to double peg grind on a rail in here. It's not in the street, but still so sick. Paul Rad's in here. Anthony Napolitan, Mark Mulville. Geez, Corey Phelps, Michael Laren, AJ Anaya, the Hallahans. Man, so many awesome people in here. All of these riders are sick. And it's cool to see these videos that Profile puts together from people all over the world into one video. Then we have Eduardo Rodriguez, Street Codes. This video, the only word I feel like I can just use to describe this video is art. Honestly, from the way that it's put together to the passion behind the riding that you can see from him, it's all art. And there's artistic filming in it throughout with the B-roll that feels like it's kind of like a metaphor for the struggle in some of these clips. And I know that's almost weird to say about a BMX video, but there was just real thought put behind this that is making it a very cinematic edit. And for that, I think you should go and check it out just to appreciate the work that went into it, from the riding to the filming to the editing. This is a real deal, high production value edit, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So go watch it. Then we've got Jordan Godwin, Jet Lag from Monster. This is obviously an insane video. Jordan Godwin on top. Some could argue, and I wouldn't think it's too far-fetched to say, one of the top 10 best BMX riders on the planet, best street riders for sure, top 10. And this video shows why. And with that, it was making me think about something, because I'm watching the previous video with Eduardo, somebody who I can't recall hearing of before. If I did, it was in passing. And then I see this video with Jordan Godwin, and it kind of just made me wonder and think about this subject right here. What makes a video different? I need to move this over. Because when you break it down to the bones of a video and you say the filming's really good, the editing's really good, the song choice is really good, the writing is some of the best in the world, it feels like it's very easy for videos to all blend together. And so I'm thinking about, like, what sets videos apart from the rest? With Max Miller's edit, Serenity, it was very obvious what set that apart from the rest. It was just an absolute insane level of riding, level of danger, and for an extended amount of time that continued through the video, and it just made for something incredible that people are not ever going to forget and talk about for decades in BMX, especially when it came out at a time where people say BMX is, suffering in the industry of it, but it just goes to show that the riding side of BMX and people having fun on their bikes and progressing themselves has never been better. And so I think about when it comes to videos and you're in this sea of everyone's incredible and the riding's all amazing, and you watch videos and it's just the craziest level of riding. And for me, the answer to the question, what makes a video different, is a certain aspect of that video being pushed further than anything else. Also, something that would make it so that wouldn't have to be a thing would be the personality aspect, things that I talk about all the time. Personality in a video where you're not only getting to see how great someone is at riding, but also getting to know them as a person. And that is, I don't mean that is a problem when I say this, but it is something that is solved and could be approached in so many different ways, an infinite number of ways. And so what I'm getting at is just when we think about some of the craziest videos of all time or the most memorable ones, what is it about them that makes them different and puts them on that pedestal in your mind that makes you remember them? I'm curious to hear, if you're watching this after the news was live, I would love to hear thoughts on this in the comments, because it's just a conversation thing. I mean, the video that I always come back to in life is the Dane Searles Giants of Dirt episode 3, where he's riding at the time the world's biggest BMX jumps, could still be the world's biggest BMX jumps. And you see him talking through the process. You get to know him while he's also doing something that at that time, like, who has anyone ever done anything like that before? Hitting a 30 or a 40-foot double, then a 50-foot double, then a 60-foot double. Then he nails it and he's like, well, now we got it. Let's have some fun with it. See what we can do. And he ends up backflipping a 60-foot double. And all the while he's talking through it, and you see him struggle, and he's crashing, breaking his bike, and talking about how he can't believe how no one's ever really done this before, and talking about BMX dirt and all of this stuff. That's more of a documentary than an edit. I didn't say edit. I just said video. We're talking about videos in general. And honestly, like, what makes something an edit versus a documentary too is a good question and topic as well. So with that being said, I'm just curious to hear what makes videos stand out to you. And I'm not just talking about videos that just came out. When you answer this, thinking about videos you remember over time and why those stand out to you. So let's keep going here. We have Max Nofrio and Raf Diaz in a video. It's a street BMX video. Garade. I'm not going to pretend like I can pronounce words because I can't even speak English right now. These guys rip. Check the video out. Then we have a video welcoming Nico Esteban to Federal. We also have Josh De La Rosa, Pennsylvania Street Spots, and Woodward. And this was another one that kind of like prompted that question of what makes a video different to me, because I thought going into this that it was going to be just like an edit of him riding street and riding Woodward. And then in the beginning, he's like talking to the camera, saying what's going to happen. And then he talks about Woodward in there. And I was like, it's a very interesting concept to think about. Like, can you talk to the camera in an edit? Is that allowed? I don't know. But it was like, oh, we get to see him, hear from him. And it was kind of cool. So watch this and let me know what you think. Going back to that, what makes a video different question. Now for a super entertaining video. The Albies $59 game of bike featuring Josh Johnson and Ronazar Jack. These dudes are riding a literal $59 bicycle and playing a game bike on flat ground. And it was super entertaining. These guys going back and forth, and then the guys also involved with the video in the background flip. You saw Turbo back there in the background. It's just entertaining. Go watch it if you want to be entertained. I will always watch a video that has pegless stuff. Not anti-pegs, but pegless is super creative. Absolutely. That's a great thought and something I didn't even think about with that conversation. It's like, pegless definitely makes a video different, and when you are pegless, you're forced to be super creative if you're going to like ride street or any kind of riding, I suppose, other than maybe trails, because pegs in the trails, peg grabs, but other than that, you're not using them super often. So next up, we've got In the Cut, a raw look at Eric Elstrand's Get Weird video, where the opening clip is a fakie candy bar out of a fakie double peg grind. Eric Elstrand, one of the best, one of the most creative in all of BMX, and also just super awesome at riding, where he can do a decade, he could do a double tail whip, he could do all kinds of crazy stuff while also being super creative and using the bike in unconventional ways. Then we have the recap from the Powers BMX 21st anniversary jam. Go check that out for 9 minutes of how that event went. We have Mikey Fleck Project Extras, 25 minutes with him. I always love seeing this dude ride. Just hauling ass, pedaling with passion, and riding like he means it. So check it out to see what he got into and didn't make it into Project X. We've got coverage from the Oslo BMX Jam in Norway. If you need a longer video, this one is a half hour long. So there you go. Pedaling with passion. Yeah, it's a pretty good saying. Don't steal it. Steal it. I don't care. Then we get into the interviews from this week. So up on Dig, we have Inside KHE Bikes, 44 years of BMX history with Thomas Goring behind KHE. This was a fascinating thing to read because my perception of Colony in 2025 is that they're over KHE, not Colony. Sorry, same starting sound. Let me just go ahead and jump over here to what we're looking at. Oh, interesting. It's not there right now. Let me see. I'm doing a little research before I go ahead and start talking about this. For the longest time, what I knew of KHE was that they were selling parts like on eBay and Amazon and whatever else. Maybe it's eBay and I'm just looking on the wrong place. I'm not sure exactly. But I honestly didn't even know that KHE was still seriously involved with BMX. I thought that it seemed like, they were just selling cheap inventory online. And so reading through this interview, it was super interesting to hear some of the things that KHE has actually helped invent and bring into BMX. There was, I think they helped out with the free coaster. If they didn't invent it before, they made the KHE style internals, which other companies have used forever. Peg stuff, cutting edge with parts, not shy to innovate. There's just a lot of stuff that I didn't know that they were involved in. And my brain is having a brain fart right now. Most influential product you have created. Talked about multi-butted handlebars. All companies almost today are using that. And it was just fascinating to read some of this stuff. So check out this interview. I thought it was interesting. I just wasn't sure, on exactly where they stand in BMX today. Maybe it talks a little bit more about that. I didn't get a chance to read super in depth on it, but we have a super chat to say thank you for right now from Rod Fountain. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. That is whatever pounds, euros, I'm not sure. KG 22 cranks are solid. Yeah, see, I feel like they sold online and I don't know. There it is. I'm finding the correct money symbol so I can put it in here when I write my thank you on the screen. Why is stuff moved around? I have to move all this stuff in my streaming stuff because things got moved somehow. And it's not okay. I don't know what happened. We'll figure it out. Either way, thank you for the super chat and the support. It helps me keep doing this every week. Come on. OBS seriously sucks sometimes. Like, why won't you let me move this the way I want to? There we go. Sorry about that. So anyways, this is interesting, and I'll be curious to see what happens with KHE moving forward. I know a lot of people like their Mac tire and still ride it to this day. Then we have it's British pounds, but I paid in Thai baht as I live in Bangkok. Nice. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the support. Super cool to see like people from other parts of the world who want to support what I do. So here we have a collab between Motobunka and Dig, or Will Smith, the owner of Dig. This is an interview with them talking about how Dig goes in terms of who works for them and how the team runs. Still publishing a physical magazine. What's the reasoning behind the commitment to print? What do you think the future holds for printed BMX media? Documentary style videos, special feature projects. What keeps you motivated to put so much time into them? How have you been getting information about BMX scene in Asia? And some other questions in here talking about BMX media in general. And it was overall an interesting interview to get some insight from someone who's been in BMX media for so long. And a lot of points in here are really good. Like the points of how social media isn't a great like database. It's not the best thing in terms of finding information. When something happens on social media, once it's gone, it's super hard to find it again. And so something like physical media is very important for that. You know, if we get hit by the EMP and the internet goes out, yeah, we're probably going to have way bigger problems than worrying about the history of BMX. But at the same time, it's like, well, at least we have BMX magazines to look at. And I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm just saying like physical stuff is important to where like you never know what could happen where a database goes down and the entire history of some website could just be gone and not recoverable. Or something like Vital BMX, how it went away and everything on it that's not on the Wayback Machine, you just can't get it back. And that sucks. Or like a social media going away, like MySpace, how it went away. And you could get some of your pictures, maybe somehow if you got to it at the right time. Like if Instagram went away tomorrow, or like how Vimeo went away. I mean, there's good examples of this that we've lived through where, for a perfect example, when Vimeo started scrubbing videos from their platform for copyright problems or whatever reasoning they found to just delete people's videos without them even knowing, when that happened, or when Vimeo pages of people went down or whatever, they stopped paying, there were entire edits that were lost to the internet because Vimeo was the only place that it existed. The videographer didn't keep the raw footage for whatever the reasons for that can be. The company might not have it anymore. And if it's not stored anywhere else, well, then guess what? It's just gone. And there's a lot of edits that are like that you can't find anymore because they don't exist. And so physical stuff like DVDs or print magazines, they don't go away whenever a website goes down or an account on a website stops paying or things like that. So it's great points in here. And there's one thing in here that I wasn't going to talk about, but I feel like I have to talk about it because I don't know, something about this perspective. Talking about the UCI and BMX being in the Olympics and making a comment about how those guys are slowly but surely diminishing what we love, and I worry that by the time enough people notice, it will be too late to stop them. As if people who ride in BMX contests and choose that side of BMX should be stopped, should not be able to do that or something, as if it's like a villain or something like that. And the point that I want to get across is that if the existence of one thing and one way somebody chooses to do something diminishes your experience of it in a meaningful way, and somehow, I want to know how that is, because when it's just about going out and having fun riding your bike, I don't know how the Olympics existing could impact that in a negative way. If it does, I want to hear about it. And maybe it's that you go ride street and you have more people notice and you're like, oh, I saw this on the Olympics. I saw people riding BMX on the Olympics. But either way, I want to see us, instead of trying to stop people we don't agree with, because that's just a bullshit way of looking at things, maybe we should learn to accept and try and figure out a way to come to a common understanding, and also realize that someone else's avenue that they choose for something doesn't have to affect mine or yours. I'm not going to go too in depth on this, because that's the whole thing. All BMX medias and all people in general have their opinions. They're allowed to have their opinions. And when someone can say that something should be stopped, I can say, well, that's stupid. And we can all exist, and we should be able to remain friends with people that we disagree with. And we should just cancel people who don't have the same opinions as us. There is nuance and lines for that. Fully agree. But in general, when you're not hurting anybody else, So let's keep going. This is the Dig Motobunka collection. They did a collab for some clothing, which is cool. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say with this is how ironic it is that they're talking about the culture of BMX and not diminishing it, while also immediately being followed. This is following an interview with a company that has sold on Amazon, sold direct, and took sales directly from core BMX companies, which is something that is like, actually, it's not measurable, but it is an objective thing that is taking away from opportunities that could exist if those sales went to more core companies. My BMX, your BMX, our BMX, go ride your fucking bike. Amen, Chris Rees. Sorry for the F-bomb, everybody, but sometimes we got to keep it real here. Either way, I thought that was funny. You interview a company that sells direct and takes sales away by selling like super cheap BMX cranks from more core companies who would be doing cool stuff. When KHE, like, who rides for KHE? I don't know. Maybe they'll do cool stuff and they'll have a revival. Brant, language. My bad. Let's get into some bike checks from the Bloom. So Beatrice was out in China for Feast Shanghai and did a couple bike checks. One with Kim from, I want to make sure, Colony. Get to know what's on her bike. And then also one with Sasha Pardo, Team Great Britain BMX Freestyle. Check out what's on her bike. Oh, Kyler's bringing up something that I didn't even know about. Disc rot is the only bad thing about physical media. They make lifetime discs. They're supposed to last 1,000 years, so I've been transferring things onto those. It takes work, but worth it. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's crazy. So, last interview thing from this week is a podcast that I did with someone who is currently in the chat right now, J.R. Hobbs. We talked for almost 2.5 hours. JR is a smart dude, and it was cool to get insight on his thoughts behind his YouTube channel and just get to know him more as a person. So if you want to also get to know JR, then there you go. the podcast is available. It's on my channel right now. And JR, while I'm thinking about this, because I'm going to forget to send you a message, you can download and do anything you want with the podcast in terms of clips and whatever. I just want to be collabed with on it. So if you want to post a clip from it on your channel or make an Instagram thing, whatever, go for it. So with that being said, let's pull up the Time BMX app and talk about events throughout, I guess, the last week in October. And we have Muskrat 19902 saying, "We want more money coming into BMX. The Olympics are an avenue for this. People said the same about the X Games in the 1990s. I mean, I fully agree with that. And that is part of what I meant to talk about, but forgot, because I always have these thoughts before this news thing. And then as soon as I start, my brain goes blank and I'm like a deer in headlights and I forget everything. But what I wanted to bring up too is that all of this stuff should exist, because there's people who want all of it. There's people who want a super core online BMX magazine that does print issues and awesome documentaries and video projects. And there's people who want to watch BMX in the Olympics and people who want to follow those riders. It all exists. It all should exist. And the point of, like, the way we grow BMX is by getting people who used to ride BMX back into it. And more importantly, getting new people into BMX. And when you make stuff that is only for people who already ride, mainly, like, the people who are going to watch Project X are people who already ride. A select few might find it somehow who don't ride or are acquainted with BMX but haven't started it yet. But the audience for that is not people who have never even considered riding. The audience for that is not made up of people who've never ridden a BMX bike before, and that's okay. Things like the Olympics can reach those people who've never ridden before. And it's the same, to parallel this, it's the same kind of thought process as why companies have had such trouble selling complete bikes. It's because they have all these complete bikes, and then the only marketing they do and the only types of things that they do to try and sell stuff goes directly to people who already have complete bikes. So if we need to sustain BMX by getting new people into it, only having media that is made for people who already ride and isn't something that it is easily accessed, or the main audience is people outside of BMX as a sport, because yes, it is a culture and a sport and a hobby and a passion all at the same time. It's just not conducive to that. And that's why it all should exist. That's why X Games, the Olympics, something like Dig, something like Motobunka, something like Act Like You Know BMX, that is very core, and they do what they love doing, and it is for who it's for. It's why it should exist. Because if it's only one thing and we have to figure out ways to, we don't have to, but if it's only one segmented thing and it's super core, then that means the only people who find BMX are people who find it by luck or chance, most likely. And if you're going to end up trying to figure out ways to get new people to see these things, well, then you're going to end up doing things that you don't agree with, because that's, I mean, yeah. Wait, what's BMX? I thought this was rollerblading live news. That's funny. Something like Ride On. Yeah, absolutely. Ride On BMX. It's really weird that Ride On BMX is doing this amazing BMX video contest, and they have for years, but we don't hear anything about it in BMX media. Unless it's like post on social media and I just miss it. We don't see it posted on the websites. We don't see any kind of interviews with the people from Ride On BMX, who's arguably like creating and sustaining an entire community within BMX. Either way, there should be, okay, I just read this Greystoke BMX hashtag. There should be a whole entire interview in the next issue of Greystoke with Neil Waddington of Ride on BMX. And if that already happened, I'm an idiot. But I'm just doing a quick search. I didn't get a chance. I have no idea. It'd be really cool if that happened, though. Either way, I'm on a soapbox. I need to get off of it. It's one of those things. I'm just super passionate about BMX. I want to see everyone be able to enjoy it. And I don't want to see segmented things that, like, I want to see segmented things, but I don't like seeing attitudes like only one of those segmented things should exist, because it should all exist. And I'll have that opinion forever. So I said something about talking about events a while ago and haven't done it yet. So that's what we're going to do right now. I got to readjust this because my stuff got moved all around somehow. I don't know how it happened. Either way, let's talk about some events going on for the rest of October. Just 1 week left, but we have the Time BMX app to show us that. So we're going to go directly into the events tab on here. Time BMX app is super cool. It has social media aspect where you can post videos on your profile. Wow, no pump track events for the rest of the month or on there at all. Trails events, we have tomorrow a 9th Street Halloween Jam, then the TK Dirt Co. Halloween Jam the following day. 9th Street is in Texas, TK Dirt Co. is in Italy. So you can see there's a map on here too. I will pull that map up in a second. Wow, no flatland events through the rest of anything on here. If you have an event, submit it into the app. You literally just hit submit an event and put it in there. Race for the rest of the year, we have Gator Nationals and then the Fall Nationals, Florida and Arizona. Then we have the freestyle events, so there will be a lot more in here. NH Halloween Jam in Brazil. We talked about the 9th Street. The Edge Indoor Skate Park Halloween Jam tomorrow in Massachusetts. Oklahoma City Halloween Jam in Oklahoma. If you need a holla, I can't speak, everyone. Dude, why does this stuff keep getting moved around? I'm getting like pissed about it, honestly. How about you go back down here where I put you? Anyways, I'm struggle busting it today, everyone, if you couldn't tell. Don't eat cookies for breakfast. If you need a Halloween event to go to, this is going to have all of them. Oklahoma City Halloween Jam in Oklahoma, Burgess Halloween Jam in Nevada, Joyride 150 Halloween Jam in Canada, 3rd Annual Tacos and Tires going down in Austin, Texas, Highland Skate Park Jam also going down tomorrow. This is in Toledo, Ohio. And that is how many events just tomorrow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 events just tomorrow all around the world. Manzanita Halloween Jam and Swap Meet in California. Talked about the Dirt Co. Halloween Jam in Italy. BMX Center Halloween Jam in Australia. And then Halloween Jam in Peru. A lot of events going on. So I mentioned a map thing. Let's go to the feed first. This just shows, here's Sam Grace out of Australia riding for Colony and Time BMX. He posted his still having fun part on the website or on the app. You can see some of his favorite places to ride and if he has any events. Whoops, that was my notifications. No events in there right now. But the map thing. We show this map every week because I want more and more people to know about this app and use it. If you have an event, put it in here. If your skate park isn't in there, put it in there. Use the app because it's an amazing resource. Skate parks, bike parks, BMX shops, BMX tracks, pump tracks, all around the world. We're going to zoom in. Let's go Australia. We never go Australia. Let's go the northernmost skate park in Australia. Looks like we've got one here. Newlanby Cantrell Skate Park. Oh wow, this looks super DIY. Some wedges, a quedge, quarter there, some stairs with a rail, pyramid, ledge on that, the hubba. They've got a double coping spine or maybe spocks. I don't know if that's camera distortion. Ledge, rail. Looks interesting. Let's go back, find the next most northern skate park in Australia. So going over. Indigenous protected area. Anything? Where are we at here? Okay, there we go. So we come over to this. We're just going to hit all of the northern skate parks in Australia at this point. This one's out in the middle of nowhere. Jalbiru. Just some metal ramps on a concrete pad. That's terrible for an Australian park. They're usually insane. Well, I think that this is just out in the middle of nowhere. So it's a mini with a kink kind of handrail on flat ground. I think this is just so far out here that's why there's not much. Darwin. All right, here we go. We'll hit these two and that'll be it. And then we'll go to the more BMX hashtag. Oh, this one's kind of cool. That looks like Ravenna, Ohio skate park. I feel like even Ravenna had more than that. Concrete mini ramp there. Looks pretty cool. Got elevation change. Looks like it's probably just this, unless there's more off to the side that you can't see. Quarters, rails, hubba, and more. So maybe there is more. And then let's check this one out. Linear? I don't know. Ooh, this one looks wild. Big pocket there with a ledge hubba type thing. Oh, look at that lighting. It's got lights. You can ride at night. Some hips. And long and low box jump type thing. Can't really see the rest. So that is that skate park. All right, that's the Time BMX app. Use it if you haven't yet. In Rochester, where I live, our $2.7 million cement park just got a $4 million grant for expansion. They broke ground Thursday. Holy crap. That's going to be amazing. So let's move to the more BMX section of the news this week. Chuck Hargis posted riding in this awesome mini ramp. Got to hit this beautiful mini on our way home from our wedding journey. Transferring, doing his ghost feeble slide to manual around the tree. Great usage. Disaster on the bigger quarter. Ice bonk downside. And then like a down whip to boneless, which is such a cool trick. Chuck kills it, man. Chuck's like 53 years old and just incredible. Went to a new skate park in Midland, Michigan called Trilogy Skate Park. Place was badass. Nice. Nice. So, let's see. Who do we have next? Presley. Couple clips here from Presley. Oh, I know what I forgot. Hold on. We gotta say BMX news checking in. Thank you for using hashtag more BMX. Chuck, you rule. Boom. What's up? John Courts tuning in from Work BMX. Watch Alex's video. We talked about it much earlier in the show. Presley at the Narmar Bikes and Boards Jam at Castleberry Skate Park, a new park in Florida. BMX news checking in. Thanks for using more BMX and always ripping. And fam. Hell yeah. And Presley won the bowl jam, it looks like. always killing it. Then we got Presley riding in the front yard before heading down to Florida this week. My fiance got her trail boss from Powers this week. Can't wait to hit the trails this weekend. Nice. Presley's so good. He's just turned 10 years old, so everybody wish him a happy birthday in the chat and comments later. He's got so much bike control and doing bar spins off of wedges now. Like, he's doing bar spins in the air now. That's so sick. And also, the day after Presley turned 10, Huck turned 11. So the young shredders of Ohio have back-to-back birthdays, which is super cool. Killing it. Then we got Moritz, also always freaking killing it. It's always so awesome to see your progression. Dude's just constantly doing crazy stuff. The young guys need their own version of Greystoke Mag. I agree. I fully agree. Except it's tough because the young kids usually don't have the media skills like Scott Town making Greystoke. The young kids, I mean, it'd be kind of cool if they like cut and paste and use arts and crafts to make a magazine. Then it got scanned in and printed out after that as a magazine. It'd be really hard. Maurice, man, just so good. Looks like he got second in the amateur contest that we talked about previously. Double whipping. I love seeing this. Seeing the progression. Thank you for using the tag, dude. So awesome. Is Ohio the new mecca for BMX? It used to be Jersey. I mean, it's moved around a lot. Ohio was a mecca years ago when Changa and the Flow all were like all existing at the same time. Both Changas were there. There was just so many amazing indoor skate parks. Section 8 as well. And people just start moving to Ohio to ride. So it'd be sick if that happened again. I mean, Justin Dowell just moved here. I would love to see that. And then the last one, Kyler Anderson in the chat, posting up a nice little moody pic of his bike. BMX is forever. Hell yeah, it is. Thanks for using more BMX. BMX news checking in. Much appreciated. There are so many more events in Ohio and surrounding states. Yeah, there's so much stuff. So much. So with that being said, everything that I've talked about today will be in the description as soon as I end this live stream. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you to Rod Fountain for the $1.99, the $1.99 pound super chat. Everybody who's a member in the chat, Geoff Meade, the Worldly Fam, Josh Shipman. There's more. We got to scroll up to find them. JR Hobbs is a member right now. Keggy also. Anthony 76BL, Kyle McDonald, Steve Novak. Who else? I know there's more. Not in the chat today, but I appreciate all of you for tuning in as well. The direct support helps me a lot, and just being here helps just as much. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Tomorrow for another video, next Friday for the news. Have a good day.